Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about the devs, and the devs have been speaking on Vassal and AI changes, UI suggestions, and banned players. So I have a lot of dev videos on my channel, so if you would like to see more info and more dev talks about future updates and stuff of that nature, check out the other videos on my channel. They're very clearly labeled dev videos and dev talk or dev discussion and stuff of that nature. Also, link to the official forums from Bannerlord will be down below as well, where most of these statements and replies are taken from. So, like always, I have a script. It's going to be on the screen right now. It's also going to be in the description. So anything I say, all links will be down there below. So, yeah, here we go. So, first, we have a couple of players making a thread about a problem they found in the game's code that makes it extremely hard to get a town as a vassal. They explain that getting a castle is easy, but a town, it usually never happens. So there was a lot being said, and there was a lot of code analysis, a lot of players pretty much putting their input and facts that yes, this is actually very hard to do. So there's a lot to go over. So I actually am going to go over all the code analysis in another video, just talking about it, because I thought it was a very cool explanation that they had when I skimmed through it. But yeah, so the devs, they respond to this claim, and they say that this will get fixed soon, and thank you for the players for their analysis, right? Because obviously they provide some constructive criticism with some facts, and like I said it before, I love seeing that, and I'm glad that the devs actually saw it in like pretty much the sea of negative threads, and that they're working on a fix. So I'm glad for this, this problem being seen, and it's on its way to get fixed. Second, we have a player asking about the Lord AI respawn time, and states that the AI lords are coming back too soon with a full army after being defeated. Devs state that this has been adjusted in the patch, and the time was extended on the AI lords respawn. Also asked the player if this is still a big problem 1.4.2. Another player then responds and states that the questions were asked out of curiosity, and that this does not seem like a big issue. Now, for the people that did not know, this was a huge problem at the start of the game's launch, because lords would respawn with a big army near the player, usually a day after being defeated, or being released if they were captured, right? The devs have changed this so that the AI lords spawn in a random time, 2 days at least, and then it's a random tick every single day if they will or will not. And they also respawn with 10% of their party size instead of 25%, which was, the previous amount. And this fix did happen in the 1.3.0 patch, so you guys can go check that out right there, and it's stated in the patch notes. Third, we have a lot of players asking about UI changes that they would like to see, like menu-based UI controls in battle instead of the number and F button system we have now. The devs state that all UI suggestions were sent to the UI department of the the developers. Also, a player wanted a sort button for the troop screen where troops would be sorted by unit type, rank, and formation. Devs state that the sorting function would interfere with the selection of troops for mission feature, but the devs say that they have a long-term plan that will resolve part of the problem. Another player then states that they would like to see formation assignments that are saved through their saves and loads, and that manually assigned custom formations would stay once made. Devs state they are working on this right now. Personally, I'm an F1, F3 type of guy, so I do sometimes fall back with some of my troops, but I don't use the formations as much, so I can't really say much about it. But if they're going to make it more in-depth, I know a lot of people want a more in-depth formation system, so that's always good. But I would like better UI during battle, so I don't have to use it. So I don't have to remember every single number and every single F1 if they had something on the screen like that's more more visible, and I could kind of even click on it, be kind of cool. But in terms of the sort feature, we did talk about it in another video, sorting troops. I think it would actually be very cool, but we'll see how that is implemented. Fourth, we have a thread started by someone who was banned for 6 days from multiplayer for pretty much what the player states as criticizing the game. Player then states that all he said was the R-word game. You know what the R word is. I can't really say it because YouTube. Then goes to say that there is worse stuff said in multiplayer, and his statement, and asks if his statement was worse than all the other racist and negative comments. Also, the player did not appreciate that the devs added a comment to the end of the ban stating, "Please don't play the game if you don't like it." So after this thread was created, the devs and the player and other players joined along in the discussion, and there was a lot of replies, a lot of things said. I read it all, but in summary, the devs stated that the player was spamming in a game that the devs were actually playing in. So he got very unlucky, to be honest with you. So he was playing a game where the devs were inside the game as well, and he was spamming R-word game over and over and over again. And stated that the player's statement was not criticism at all, as he stated in his title of his pretty much thread post. Then the devs state that spamming negativity ruins people's fun. But the ban that was originally for 6 days just to not be able to play pretty much was demoted to a global mute for 6 days instead. And the devs did say sorry on their part that it should have been a global mute from the start. And asked the player if he does have other concerns that he can contact support, and they will look into it further. So here's my take on it. So, you know, I'm going to put a little skip. If you guys don't want to see my take, it's a little rant, but, you know, I'll be going on my rant sometimes. So I'm going to put on the screen right now where you need to go to skip the rant, but let's get into it. So here's my take. First, I think for situations like this, global mute is fine. The only times bans are really needed are for cheaters and insane griefers, right? Or something very, very hateful. Like something very, very racist or hateful, yes. I think, you know, either a permanent global mute or a ban would be okay. Second, for the player who was banned, just because you got caught speeding while everyone else was speeding, trust me, the cop in that situation does not care that the person in front of you was going faster, because you were also speeding. Now, that's a reference. If you didn't get it, here's what I'm pretty much trying to tell you. That you saying there's worse people out there typing bad things does not make you an angel because you only said R-word game and you spammed it. You still did something that you know probably shouldn't have been done. It's very simple. Third, you, me, and everybody knows that you were not criticizing the game. You got caught up and you said some dumb stuff. It happens. But I don't like how players try to sugarcoat it and lie. You know, especially like, let's say you're at a restaurant or in a place like that, and you're very, very rude to your servers and things of that nature, right? And at the end of the meal, you go to the let's say you're very mean to your server, and then the server says something back that maybe they shouldn't have, right? But they were just very upset that you were very negative towards them. Then you go to their boss and say, hey, they were very rude to me, this, and that. All I was trying to do was, you know, I was just trying to criticize the food and criticize their service. But at the same time, you were saying other things, but you're pretty much lying and trying to sugarcoat it to make yourself look better. And I think that makes your whole statement very, very weak. And I'm actually surprised the bans did revise the ban to just a mute, but you got lucky. All you have is a mute now for 6 days. And with all that being said, should he have gotten banned? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really think he should have gotten banned. But I do agree with the mute, though. You know, I have played other games. I've become toxic, and I've spammed, and then I got muted. It happens. You learn from it. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes you got to own up to your dumb decisions, you know? It does happen. So that's kind of my take on the subject, you know? Now, that is all the statements and replies for now, and if anything new comes up, I will make a video and keep you guys informed. Lastly, I'm going to end this video in the same way I end most of my update and dev talk videos. I do want to thank the developers for staying active and you know, replying on the forums as much as they can, and for, you know, changes. Right now we don't see that many changes, but it's because of the code refactor, and I know it's been a long time, but patience is key when it comes to early access. You know, people need to start understanding that. Stop being very negative. Stuff takes time, especially good things takes good time. Also, as an early access game, if you are playing on the beta, do not expect the gameplay to be stable. If you're in the auto update on Steam, pretty much every single time a new update comes out and Steam auto updates your game, that means you're on the beta patch. If you would like to revert to a stable patch, I have a video on how you can do that, and the link will be down below. And a stable patch is pretty much, it's a stable environment to play in. There's less crashes, you won't auto update and break your mods and stuff of that nature. So yeah, hopefully this video was informative. Ask me any questions, and like always, stay safe.